Welcome to our another discussion part. Today I'm going to talk about kids' well-being. Now, we all look after ourselves for various reasons and various problems. But when it comes to kids, we only feel that whatever problem the kids might have, their only solution is either to take them to the GP and get some medicine, either in the form of antibiotics or antihistamines or other issues, or even if they have some gut issues, they might need some kind of pain relievers or other. We never able to think that kids who are constantly using such drugs, how much impact it happen on their total well-being and in the coming years. We all understand now that such medicine, even simple antibiotics, whether you talk about amoxicillin or other kind of antibiotics for our kids' common sort of ailment, and especially the weather we are going currently, the winter, in which common cold, sore throat, runny nose, cough, and even a bit more deeper sort of asthma and skin problems are very common with the kids. And without a blink, we always try to keep taking them frequently to our doctors, which again is not a bad thing. When we are not able to have any understanding, and when we even might have some understanding that these antibiotics or these drugs which I am looking for my child are not good, but no one can see the child suffering from these problems, and when they have sleepless night and high fever, they always have no other option but to run to their doctors. But Ayurvedic medicine, Ayurvedic science clearly state that the awareness, what we talk about, to live with awareness and look around our surroundings, our lifestyle, our diet, because these are the core factors for whatever problem come to us. But same apply to our children, that our children also get affected with all such environmental factor, diet and lifestyle factor. But we never try to make an effort that how I can prevent these things, and never given a thought that constant giving them these antibiotics, how it impacts their life, and especially when they will become more adult and teenage, how these issues will happen. So on that basis we can just talk simply that when these common cold, runny nose, cough sort of issues comes up, what one can do. Simple issue is look at the diet of little one, look at how they communicate towards the environment from one extreme to the other. If outside is in a cold environment, how I can let my child go without well covered with warm clothes, how they can go out in the wet soil not having socks, not having shoes, how they can go out without having any cap. So all these small considerations are what need to be looked at. But if you talk to many mothers or parents, their answer will be, our child does not listen, and they run around, and when the food part we talk to them, that please don't give such food which can lead to such problem, and then they will say, two things. What kind of food? And when we say that don't give them bread, don't give them cheese, don't give them banana, don't give them ice cream, don't give them smoothies, don't give them cold milk, don't give them this tomato sauce or peanut butter, then they will say, my child will never able to eat anything else. And one wonder that how are you going to educate these parents? I always surprised that when a mother come up within a child and that child is already 5-year-old and start on inhalers and sometime having a whole skin full of skin issues, dermatitis, wheezing, eczema, and then steroid cream 3 times a day. Very difficult to see even. And when you know that you can help these children, but it has to come through the parent, and parent need to make an effort. But most of the time when I ask mother if a 7-year, 8-year-old child is coming up with these problems, a lot of time they come up with these issues. And I will ask, okay, what your child is having in breakfast? Answer will be, she will or he will. Don't take me wrong that I'm just talking about that mothers, because majority of the time mothers bring their child, so that's the reason I'm sharing this. So mother will ask that child, what you have for breakfast today? I hope you can understand my point here. It means mother has not given him the breakfast. Child has gone himself to get his breakfast. And what they get in breakfast? Simple 2 things. Cereal, which they have already put mother and father at child level, so that they can go in the kitchen, open the cupboard, get the cereal, and then they open the fridge. At their level, they can get the milk, pour the milk in the pot over the cereal, and sometimes banana is sitting on the kitchen top, they can cut and have that. So now you can understand what kind of antibiotic is going to save that little one from having these problems, what we just talked about, common cold and runny nose and cough and chesty cough, wet cough, which ultimately going to change into asthma. Because even though child has all that, mother is still in the bedroom or wherever, and they will not bother about what child is eating in the breakfast. And then look at the lunchtime. Lunchtime is very simple, 99.9%. Bread, a bit of cheese, bit of avocado, bit of something else. Chips packet is a wonderful chips packet which all these big companies sell, and they come up in the packet come in, and then the big packet. So 1 packet child will take with him or her, and then big bar of that muesli bar or other full of processed sugar. These are, and then the drink, you never forget about that, because mother is very, very conscious. My child must drink water. And what kind of water? That water, green, yellow, red, blue, that kind of waters are given to the children. And when you talk to these mothers and parents, their answer will be, my child does not eat anything else. How I can see my child crying? And when you ask them that how you are trying to implement what we given the advice, their answer will be that sometime when we are even having breakfast together, right? And I will say that, oh, you are not allowed this. Dr. Ajit has told you not to eat this. And then say, what is your normal breakfast? What do you mean? And I said, just what you are eating. And this, I normally on Sunday, Saturday enjoy my bread and omelette, or maybe a bit of a jam. I love a bit of a sweetness in the morning. So jam will come up, or sometime mother will say wheat bakes and bit of milk. I say, I mentioned that these things are not good for the child. So then they say, yes, we know that. You told us that these things are not good for child. So I say, how you think your child is going to follow that advice, what is given to him, and you on the same dining table, sitting and eating in front of him? And answer will be, we are not sick. I say, it's not about you not being sick. You are parent. You need to be role model. You need to put an example. How you can see my child will not eat these things which I am eating in front of him. And when you start that level of discussion, parents start thinking that I'm trying to criticize them. No Ayurvedic practitioner criticize anyone. Ayurvedic practitioner's focus is how I can pass on that wellness to this little one, but it has to go through the parents, to the adult. And for parents to make their child healthy, they have to set an example. And that's not only for one thing, for many other things too. Whether you are smoking, whether you are having an alcohol, you sit on the dining table and you all the time having alcohol or wine, and the children are sitting there with you on dinner table, what they will see, that these are common intake items done by my parent, done by my elder, done by my grandparent. So how you can think of that they will not get into? And when they go outside, they will get into other kind of drugs. So this is where the society is moving. So coming back to this cold and cough kind of thing, not to talk about those problems which are now becoming an everyday, means you in the 30 years ago when we used to see in the practice, you will rarely see once a week a one ADD or ADHD kind of a child, or issues with the other kind of mental problem. Attention deficiencies are there, and other kind of is dyslexia or OCD. But nowadays in a week you will see 4 or 5 such cases all the time there. So why that is increase is only what we just talk about. That neither our parents even given for a 1 minute even a simple thought that all the problems, whatever we are talking about, physical, mental, emotional, can also impact to the little one in the same way as they impact the elders. And that's relate with our diet, our lifestyle. And that's what we should all think of. But coming back to this common cold and other thing, now when we talk about from Ayurvedic approach, Ayurveda again talk about that for such simple problem you have those kitchen herbs in your kitchen all the time. And if you can make an effort to help your child for the child's well-being, you can prepare certain remedies all the time and save your child from having these antibiotics all the time. So what kind of remedies are? Everyone has in their household fresh ginger. Everyone has cardamom. Everyone has cinnamon. Everyone has honey. Everyone has black pepper. So these are the common kitchen remedies for your all chest issues which we are going through at the moment in the face. And on top of that, the present situation where the COVID has really impacted, and now this third wave or second wave what we talk about, or different kind of variants of this virus is coming up. And now before that it was that kids are not getting affected. Now kids also start getting affected. And because it's a weather impact also is there, so on those considerations we need to be careful that how we can look after our children while we are trying to look after ourselves. So what every parent can do, they can take in a 1 teaspoon honey, and in that they can put 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon, cardamom, turmeric, pinch of black pepper, and then they can grate ginger and squeeze the juice of that, mix in a paste, give the child 1/4 teaspoon or 1/2 teaspoon every 2 hours, and you will find that helps to ease out their normal common cough and cold very quickly. Every night without fail, if you can give them steam inhalation. But problem is, this is all require a bit effort. It does not ask for huge consideration, just a little bit of your time. Stop your TV, stop your mobile phone for 10 minutes and devote that 10 minutes to the little one whom you always think that he or she is very dear to me. But how come that little one who is dear to you cannot ask for 10 minutes for his well-being? And if we can start putting that time, you will find you can save your child from such big problem, which ultimately become an asthma, and then from there inhalers will be whole life they have to use. So coming back to that part, so these remedies will be very, very helpful. And then if you feel your child is a say 7, 8, 9-year-old and feeling in a sore throat, ask them to do gargle. What is gargle? Glass of warm water, and in that you can put 1/2 teaspoon of Himalayan salt or black salt and ask them to do the gargle. Do that along with the children. In the same way is steam inhalation. If the child, little one is too young, or means 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year, you can't expect the child to do themselves. You have to cover yourself in the same blanket and ask the little one to inhale that. So these are the small considerations. But if you feel my child is now having a bit of more issue and it's not getting better with what you are telling us and we have used that, then there are specific Ayurvedic preparations. Like there is a one special very, very effective remedy called as Sitopladi Churna. Churna means powder. So that powder is very complex. 1/4 teaspoon 3 times a day, 4 times a day to the little one. Or if the adult has the problem, they can take 1 teaspoon mixed with the honey 3 or 4 times. It's very, very good for their cough also in this winter. If someone is not able to take powder, then they can go for capsule known as Sinocare, and along with Agniton, these two kind of preparations are very good, because what happens when your body start building up some kind of toxins, we simply, I'm talking about toxin or free radical substances in our medical terminology, or in Sanskrit we talk about ama. That ama, when it start getting built, it only built when your metabolic intelligence, what we call as your digestive fire, get affected. So to burn those toxins, you need certain specific herbs in journal to burn that, and then focusing with a specific formulation on your chesty area where the manifestation of the problem is coming up. So Sitopladi Churna is good for the kids also. And if adults having any problem and their constitution, because again all our preparation in Ayurveda go relate with the constitution, what we call as your Prakriti. There is a one preparation known as Lavangadi Churna, which is very precise for Kapha and Vata kind of constitutions who get these chesty issues can be taken care. But if your little one is say 6 months old or 3 months old, first consideration that mother's lifestyle, mother's diet must be looked into. So the few things which I share in general, like these bread, cheese, pizzas, burger, bananas, smoothies, which we feel are very, very healthy, pasta, tomato sauce, peanut butter, they should be eliminated from their diet. I'm not saying life, because I know no one wants to live healthy all the time, and they feel that these things which he is talking about, if we have to take them away, what is the purpose of living? That is how sometimes many people come and they talk about that. So at least when you are not well, try to avoid these sort of lifestyle or diet for at least 1 month, and what you should eat, then people will think, okay, there is nothing for me to eat. There is millions of things which you can still eat if you follow even simple one principle: warm and cooked, warm and cooked, warm and cooked. You can still be eating something what you feel like. If you can't live without chicken and fish, you can cook those chicken and fish and have them with rice, but rather than all the time eating cold, use certain kitchen herbs in them: turmeric, ginger, garlic. You can marinate them, roast them, grill them, whichever, but incorporate these spices, which are kitchen herbs, for very, very good for your gut as well as for these problems. Can make your food as medicine. In the same way, lunch, rather than going all the time to those takeaways and subways and eat bread and all those loaves, best is go for soup. Even if you can get soup from the supermarket, which comes in the packet, not that great, but at least to keep that principle warm and cooked will be helpful. And in the breakfast, you can make either porridge or make some pancakes. So these are the simple remedies which and again, don't think that these things are not tasty. They are very, very tasty, more tasty than your cereals, what you all the time trying to eat, but they are more healthy for your children and as well as for you. So that way you can save your child to have frequent antibiotics. And coming back what I was talking, that for the little who are 6 months old or so, and they are having these chesty issues, there are special kind of liquids, we call them as syrups. So Sepnil and Cofnil, those two syrups are very, very effective in Ayurveda. They can be given to those children, 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon, 3 times a day, and then steam inhalation, as I said, will be very good. Mother's diet need to be looked at. That's the way you can always help your children to get over problem. This is the one problem, because this is a seasonal issue all the time going. I have tried to share that, but to some stage I will also talk about all these others mental issues or emotional issues which are coming up, or some gut related issues. Another incident I can share with you. In my early days, around about 27 years ago, when I started practicing this part of the world, at that time, I'm talking about the role of the parents. Don't take me wrong, but I'm giving you example which I hope when you will put yourself into those shoes, you will also be in the same situation. But we all need to work on that. So I used to keep going to different organization, association to talk about Ayurveda. No one was aware what Ayurveda is all about. So I went one time to this women's group in West Auckland, and because my clinic was in West Auckland at that time, and given some small talk on Ayurveda and the role of Ayurveda in women's and children's well-being. And then based on that, I get some cases in my clinic, and cases were with the kids, same issues: runny nose, sinus problems, cough all the time, and skin issues. And again the same, when I start asking them what sort of diet they are on and what they eat in breakfast, lunch and dinner, so standard answers were coming from different parents, but totally the same sort of like ready-made script with their eating and other thing. So I thought that okay, and then I advise them what normally in our Ayurvedic approach will be to advise those parents for their children. And because at that time I was not so busy, so I always try to call parents to see after 10 days, 15 days how the little one is doing. So when I called for these kids, the answer which I was getting from every mom: my child is not eating what you have advised him or her. And when I have these 6, 7 mothers giving me the same answer, I will start getting a little bit freaked out that, oh my goodness, what I'm going to do if the children are not eating. But anyway, I thought, okay, I will try another chance and another way. So what I did is, I asked those mothers that, look, I'm going to prepare porridge for these kids. Are you okay with that? Mother said, yes, yes, do whatever you feel like. And I requested that, okay, on this particular date you come and we will prepare breakfast for them. And 7 mothers were there who came with their children, and myself and one of my students who was working with me, we prepared the porridge. And before bringing the porridge to the table in the bowls, I told those mothers that I'm going to blindfold your children. And mother said, oh yeah, do whatever you want. And we both done that for those children and put the bowl with our porridge in front of them and asked them to start eating. And every child start eating that nice warm porridge. After 4 spoons, when they have eaten, both of us went behind and opened their blindfold. And every child keep eating. No one stopped. And when they finished that porridge, I asked, anyone need more? And everyone's hand were like that up. And it was good to see those mothers who were shouting at me that our child does not want to eat what you have advised. But my point was not to make them feel bad or something. My point was simple, that it is we as an adult who are not keen to make an effort for the well-being of our children. We only talk about, we only do the lip service. And that's what Ayurveda is all about. No lip service, but action. It's all about, and I'm not going to ask anyone to be always on those kind of things. It's always strike balance. When you are in trouble, at least follow the right approach, which can save you, to feed your child with pure poison of these drugs and other things which can be avoided. We need these drugs whenever required, but there is a big window in which we can put our effort to avoid these things. So that's what I would like to share because of the season, that at least look after your children, and you have every opportunity to help your children, to give them in a balanced, healthy life for their future, and not just relying them on such medicines or such drugs. Thanks everyone.